Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and Storm Blake here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about rhinoplasty and cosmetic surgery and kind of the stigma behind those two topics. I have some questions written down about my rhinoplasty and why I want to get it, and just questions that I've gotten from people when I've talked to them about me getting this surgery done. So first question is, why do I want rhinoplasty? So my nose has always been a bone of contention for me ever since I was growing up. I would say from the age of 8 or 9. I'm going to see if I can find some photos for you guys because I've always hated my nose. I've always felt like my nose was too big for my face. Even though I've grown into it, I still feel like it's really big. And my nostrils are uneven. So I would say both of my parents, they both have big noses. I am black, so it is something basically in the black community. We're known for our big noses, as well as some couple of other cultures that have big noses. When am I getting my surgery done? So I'm scheduled to have my surgery done June 1st, 2020. It's currently May 25th, so we are a week out from surgery. I am super duper excited about this surgery. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to have done, about what I really want done. So let me scoot in a little bit closer and show you guys. So for my nose, my doctor is going to be taking down my bridge. He's going to be smoothing out my bridge, bringing in my nostrils, and then raising my tip a bit, as well as shaving off some of that bulbousness of my nose. So at the end, all in all, I just want a more feminine, cuter nose. I'm really excited about it. So another question is, where am I getting it done and the cost? So I'm located in upstate New York. My doctor is Dr. Kim, and the cost of the surgery is $7,500. And I've been looking around. That's not too badly priced for where I'm located. I did consider going to Turkey to get my surgery done, but right now with traveling and the epidemic, it's just not looking like something that is going to be feasible for me. I decided to go with Dr. Kim. So my Dr. Kim is double board certified. He is also an ENT. So he is also going to be working on the cosmetics of my nose, but also he's going to be making sure that I still have a functioning nose. He's not going to make it too small. He's not going to do anything that would jeopardize my breathing. So that's why I also went with Dr. Kim. Now, the place I looked at going over in Turkey, I've had a couple of consults with doctors in Turkey. That is like their main thing that they do. So that's why I considered going to Turkey. But like I said, I can't travel. And then actually talking with Dr. Kim, he actually pointed out some things that I didn't even think about. So if you are in the same boat as me and you're thinking about rhinoplasty, it's always good to have a few consultations. So when I spoke with Dr. Kim, I showed him a couple of noses that I've seen people who come out of Turkey with, and I've showed him like, oh, these pictures, like they look great. They usually in Turkey, they're known for using rib cartilage to give you that straight bridge down your nose. Talking to Dr. Kim, he pointed out that you can always tell when someone has rib cartilage in their nose. It's a foreign object and the nose looks a lot more protruding. So actually, I didn't even think about that, so I'm glad that I discussed that with my doctor. Let's see what the next question is. Let's talk about the stigma behind rhinoplasty and cosmetic surgery within the African American community and just overall in general. So when people hear that you want to get rhinoplasty or you want to get some type of cosmetic surgery done, they always assume that you don't love yourself, it's self-hatred, you're fake, just a whole bunch of judgmental statements being thrown at the person. And I don't think that this is right. Everyone has the right to their opinion. So I kind of liken rhinoplasty to someone losing weight. I've seen people lose a drastic amount of weight and it's changed their identity, changed their physical appearance, 100%. So why is that okay? Why is it okay for someone to lose weight and it changes their complete physical appearance, but it's not okay for someone who wants surgery to have them done? I just say that it's your body. You do what makes you happy with it. No one has the right to judge you. I actually have this tattoo on my foot that says only God can judge me, and I wholeheartedly believe that. You know, no one can judge me because I want to get surgery. I want to change my outward appearance. It's not affecting anyone. So that's my outlook on it. And the other thing people like to say is with cosmetic surgery or rhinoplasty is that if you have kids or you do have kids, they're going to wonder why they don't look like you. And again, I say that is complete crap because lots of people have kids who don't look like them. Sometimes people have kids who are the spitting image of them, but that does not change how you raise your kid and how you show them love. You know, so for me changing my nose, if I was to have a son or a daughter and they've been born with the nose that I originally had, I don't see how it's going to impact anything. I have photos of when I was younger. They're going to see me and they're going to know that I'm their mom. They came from me. I love them. I raised them. So it doesn't matter what I look like. You know what I mean? Like I said, back to the weight thing. So if my kids come out skinny, but I've gained weight over the years, they're going to
say, well, Mom, you don't look like me. You're fatter than me.
Makes no sense whatsoever. So basically, that's all I have to say on the stigma. And like I said, people are going to do what makes them happy. No one has the right to judge you on what you want to get done to yourself. Now let's go on to a list of things that you should ask your doctor in your consultation. First question is, do you think I'll need revision surgery after? And if so, is that included in the price? What percentage of your patients need revision surgeries or are unhappy with your work? So right off the bat, that is an in-your-face question, but I feel it's a very important question because you're touching my face. You're changing my nose. You know, is this something that you do? Is it something that people come back and they're unhappy about? I need to know that. So I asked that question of the doctor and his staff. Obviously, the doctors can be biased and the people in the office can be biased, but I think that it's something that they would want to be upfront about, and they should show you statistics. So my doctor said about 2% of people come back and need revision or are unhappy with their nose after the year mark, because after you get rhinoplasty, it does take a full year for you to see the actual results and for the swelling to subside. So the second question was, how many of these procedures do you personally perform each day? So he told me he performs about 2 to 3 per day. And I said, what percentage of your surgeries have been ethnic noses? So like I said, it's very hard with me being African American and finding someone who is skilled in doing African American rhinoplasties. That was the #1 reason why I was going to Turkey, because that's all they do in Turkey. So in the States, it was kind of hard to find a doctor who specialized in it, who done it often, and who was willing to do it. So in my journey to find a doctor who I was comfortable with, I went to a couple of different doctors just to talk to them. I went to this one office. I scheduled my appointment. I went on my lunch break. I was super excited. I get there. They have me fill out some paperwork. I'm waiting about 10 minutes. They call me back into a room. I'm sitting in a room that's filled with implants for breast. And I'm looking around, it's just like saline solution, little bags that people get in their breast augmentation. So of course I'm touching it and feeling them around and just looking at them, even though I'm not interested in getting my breast done. But I'm sitting there waiting. So right away, that struck me as maybe this doctor does not do a lot of rhinoplasty. So that was definitely going to be on my list to ask him. Comes in, we're talking. He's like, so what are you hoping to have done today? Even though I filled out my paperwork, says rhinoplasty. They asked me that a bunch of times in the paperwork, over the phone when I was setting it up, or whatever. So we're talking, and he's like, okay, what is the outcome that you want to have for your nose? So I'm telling him just a smaller, more feminine nose, more projection on the tip, things like that. And then he goes in and says, well, I don't really work on African American noses because it tends to be a little bit more difficult. So then right there, I'm sitting there like, okay, couldn't you have told me this over the phone? And of course, I don't get rude. I don't say anything like, I don't get out of character, but you can tell my face I'm disappointed. So he goes on to say, I don't really ask people their ethnicity over the phone, so I'm sorry that you had to come in, but I don't do them because they usually take a lot more work, not your in and out surgery, so that's not something I do. And then he goes on to say, well, there's a surgeon joining my practice in a few weeks that actually specializes in African American rhinoplasty. And from that point, I was so mad. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was so mad that they wasted my time. I even stepped foot back into that office. That's how furious I was. It was definitely a journey getting to this point, to actually finding a doctor, being confident in his work, and going ahead and booking the surgery. What are the next questions that I asked? I asked him, who will assist during the surgery? Where will you perform my surgery? What risks should I consider? And how likely are they with anesthesia, scarring, if the bone will scar, if my nose will go back to the original nose that I had. Because research, I've understood that bone in your nose is very rigid, and it can go back to memory. So I've had this nose for 28 years. So with them working on it, there is a possibility of shifted back to my original nose. So I want to know the percentage of that and what was his course of action if that did happen. He understood what I was asking. He gave me the correct answers. He said that revision is included in the price, and the only thing I would have to pay for is the anesthesia. I was comfortable with that answer. The other question I asked was, where will I recover after my surgery, and will I have continuous care, a trained medical provider? Because sometimes doctors will do the procedure and leave your aftercare to someone else. So I asked, will painkillers be included, or is this something that I will have to provide out of pocket? As you guys can see, I have my septum ring in, so I do have my nose pierced. And that was one of the things that I was worried about, that my hole would close up. So I did ask him, I said, you know, my septum piercing is really important to me. It's going to be something that's going to close up. Unfortunately, he said that he is going to have to close the hole, and that's where he's going to be working with tissue and removing that tissue. While I knew that this was a possibility, I am still disappointed. He said that I would have to wait around a year and pierce it again. Then I asked him to take pictures of my nose right after he's done, so that I can see it before the swelling sets in, because that's another thing with rhinoplasty, is that very traumatic experience from what I've read. Basically, you don't look like yourself. They're going in, they're cutting. I'm having open rhinoplasty. I don't know if I've said that, but I'm having open rhinoplasty. They're gonna go in and cut your nose, peel your skin back, break your bones in your nose, put it back together, cut some tissue. It's a lot. So when you wake up, you don't look like yourself. For your nose to set and your bones to be good, I would say you need your set around 6 months is what I've read in my research. So during that time, your nose is fluctuating. It's going up and down. It's swollen. It's changing. It's a very traumatic time. I said, will I see major change after surgery? So my number one fear is that I will have the same nose. Like, I'm not paying all this money to come out with the same nose. While I don't want like a nose that doesn't fit me, I do want to see major change. So I put major in capital letters. I was like, will I see major change after this surgery? And my doctor is great. I spoke with him for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I was just like hammering him with questions, and he has great bedside manner, and he answered all of my questions, and he's just like, I know what you mean. We've talked about it. I'm going to give you a more feminine nose, as well as when you get older. I'm glad that you're thinking about it now, because as you get older, our nose tends to droop a little bit, so my nose would be a lot more droopier than it is now. So I think me and Dr. Kim, we have an understanding. I think me and him is here. So I'm very excited about my surgery. I also asked, will I need arnica pills, and do you recommend that I take them, and how many do I take, and do I take them before surgery? How much time will I need off from school or work? And then I also asked about Botox. That's unrelated, but I was thinking about having some Botox done for some fine lines in my forehead. Those are all the questions that I asked my doctor and that I recommend that you ask your doctor during all of your consultations. So another resource that I would recommend for you guys is to hop on to realself.com. I'll put it on the screen and go ahead and look up your doctor. People have had their doctors on there. They have ratings, a comment section. People show before and after photos. So I was always asking questions, always doing research before my consultations with Dr. Kim, just so I would feel like I was in the know. This is something that's major surgery. I'm going to change it for the good or for the bad. So this is something that you want to have researched and you want to know what you're getting yourself into. So I think that's going to be it for the video, guys. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you day of surgery, after. I'm going to show you pictures, the swelling. I'm very excited for you guys to take this journey with me. So just hang in there with me, and we have a week to go. I am counting down the days. 7, 6. I am counting down the days. I cannot wait, and I will be documenting everything for you guys. So if you have any questions at all, I'm so happy to have you guys on this journey with me, and I'll see you guys later.